With extracurricular activities and multiple assignments due on the same day, it can be so hard to find motivation to finish our work and also find a balance between our mental health and our work life. I guarantee you know someone who complains about being tired at least 50% of the time and struggles to finish their work. And for a lot of you, that might be yourself. And if it is, I relate to you. For most of high school, and even now sometimes, I struggle to finish my work because I just simply cannot find the energy to do it. Recently, I've discovered a lot of new methods that have helped with my productivity, and I really wanted to share them with you guys. So here they are. Tip number 1. Start with the hardest assignments first and find the root of your procrastination. So what's been really working for me is not doing what's easy, but doing what's hardest first. Because once I do the things that I fear the most, the lesser things feel so much easier and we fear it less. We get motivation and happiness from finishing things, so once you can finish your hard assignments, the easier assignments feel ever more possible to do. So here's a screenshot of my Canvas schedule, and if you look at the 26th, which is this Friday, I have 2 quizzes and a chem assignment called PKA 3 Ways. I finished my quizzes first because they were more daunting to me, and now I have more motivation to do my PKA 3 Ways chemistry assignment. Tip number 2, Zoom etiquette. Hopefully online classes won't be a thing for much longer, but turning your camera on can be super helpful for paying attention during an online class. I know it can be difficult to do this because we've just gotten out of bed sometimes and our hair is a mess, but not only is it great for paying attention, but turning on your camera also shows your teacher or professor that you really care and you're paying attention. In addition, I really highly recommend Zooming from a table or a study space instead of your bed. This was a really bad habit that I got into my first semester of college, where I had a lot of 9:40s and 8 a.m.s, and I would take them from my bed and end up falling asleep in the middle of lecture. So definitely don't do that. Tip number 3. So something that's really easy to do is get distracted during an online class, and something I have caught myself doing a lot is grabbing for my phone because it's like the closest thing to my hands. So I've been putting my phone across the room during my classes, and also I've heard a lot about fidget toys. I know fidget spinners were like a thing 4 years ago, but they can actually really help people focus during courses, and there are a lot of options that won't make noise in an in-person class. Tip number 4. So something that I found that's really helpful about my new study habits is that they're active. So for example, my old habits used to be just taking notes and then reviewing them, but now I've been doing a thing called active studying, which is I, for example, get a blank sheet of paper and I write out all the concepts that I can remember from memory and then compare them to the concepts that I need to know for the exam so I can fill the gaps for the things that I don't know. Another thing I do is reciting things out loud to myself, especially for language courses. This is essential to hear what it sounds like coming out of your own mouth. Another thing is teaching it to your friends, especially if they're taking the same course. You guys can go back and forth, reciting things that you remember and quizzing each other. And lastly, I think a really important thing for especially the STEM courses that I take right now is doing practice tests. And not only doing the most basic questions, but doing those application questions that professors don't really practice you on, but you need to practice yourself on. So, for example, for like a basic chemistry course, you're learning about stoichiometry, but you can't just know stoichiometry, you need to know how to do it in like a word problem. So make sure to do more than you think you need to know, and you'll always be prepared.